Everything stays on. Hi, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And this is the Carrie and Dee Dee Show.
Hello, people.
So, our topic of the day is you didn't make yourself. Now, what I mean by that is you didn't make yourself, so stop trying to make yourself over. And in many cases, well, you know what? Look, there's a story that I have. My wife and I, we were watching a comedy show. And you look out in the audience and, you see that somebody's dressed a little weird. That's all. That person got up, spent their money to come to this event to be entertained and found themselves a part of the entertainment. Now, when that person left their house, because my wife mentioned this, that lady thought she looked good. She thought she felt good about herself. And I'm going out, who knows? She probably work all the time. It's like, this is my night. I'm going out. I'm going to have a good time. I'm dressed the best that I can dress. My hair is on the best way I know how to put it on. And my makeup's on the best way I can put it on. I look good. And I feel good about myself. And I'm going out here and have a good time. Only to get to the comedy show and find myself a part of the entertainment. He pick her out and then go clean in on this woman as if she made herself. And that's what made me think of that. It's like if she had made herself, think of the woman she would be. If she had a choice, she would have the biggest, nicest, roundest, perkiest boobs, the biggest, curviest ass, and she would have all the things she needs to dress and fit in and blend.
And then that still wouldn't be good enough.
And that still wouldn't be good enough.
Wouldn't be good enough. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, what you think is perfect is not perfect to someone else. So you can make yourself give yourself the biggest ass and boobs, and the longest hair and the light skin or whatever you think is whatever you think is acceptable to whoever, I don't know who. Then you would do that, and then people would still find fault in that. So you could never please people, no matter what. You didn't make yourself, so you have to love yourself and love everything about you, regardless of what other people say or think. Everybody can't change, and like I said, even people who have the money to change their looks aren't always happy with the outcome, because people still find, if you're fat, if you're overweight, you lose weight, people have those issues. Oh, now you're too skinny. Your head is too big for your skinny body. And people have to deal with that. You work hard to lose all that weight, and then you have people, now first you was too fat, now you're too skinny. Oh, you black, you too dark, you too dark. You like your skin? Ooh, you look funny. You can't please people. You have to be happy and content with yourself, because it don't matter. People are going to talk about you. People are going to say things about you regardless. You could be what is considered because you could be what is considered the most beautiful woman in the world, but you're still insecure because your mama told you wasn't good enough, you wasn't cute enough, and you don't feel like you're good enough. The world could think you're so beautiful, but if you don't think that you are inside, it's worthless, because it don't matter what somebody else tell you. If you don't feel it in here, then you're not going to feel it. You're not going to feel it. You can tell me I'm beautiful every day and I'm pretty, and that could boost your self-esteem for a few hours. And then you're going to be somewhere crying thinking that you ugly because you don't feel it within yourself. You have to love who you are. I don't with flaws. Everybody has flaws. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has something wrong, what is considered wrong with you. But I don't think it's anything wrong with you. It's just, society has made people feel like if you don't look what like the standard or whatever the standard is of, you gotta be a size 0 and look a certain way. And if you don't look that way, then something's wrong with you and you have to get this fixed. People get into the music industry or any industry and then be thin, and then they tell them you're not thin enough. Mm-hmm. It's just ridiculous. That to me plays on people's self-esteem, and it causes people to start throwing up their food and becoming bulimic and all this shit. Love yourself. I don't care what color you are, where you come from, what shape, what size. Love yourself. And if you don't like certain things about yourself, do something to change it. But don't do it because you want to change it. Don't do it because somebody else tells you to do it. do it because you want to do it and you feel like you will be better off with that. Don't do stuff just because somebody else tell you to do it. Or and make you feel like you're less than a person because you're not a size 0 or you don't look like this. You have short hair, your hair's short. Put some weave in. Don't put it in your head unless you want it. Don't be insecure. Don't let other people tell you how you need to look and how you need to be. You do it because you want to do it, and love yourself in the midst of your transformation. If you want to change and look a certain way, still love yourself until you get to that body you want to get into. Don't let other people do that because I think it's just ridiculous. You have people out here killing themselves because they don't feel like they're worth anything. They feel worthless. They don't have any self-confidence. You know, and if you're confident, oh, she's too confident. She's too this. She's too that. Love yourself. I don't give a care what nobody say. Love you. And if you don't like I say, work on it in your time, but love who you are. Because if you don't love who you are now, when you change what you look like, you're not going to love that person either. Because you're going to find fault in it because you're used to finding fault in things because people tell you something is a problem. You got a big nose. You were born with that nose. Oh, that nose ain't good enough. You got to go get a smaller nose. Why? Why? Because everybody else got a nose that's smaller? That's ridiculous, and that's a problem. And that's how I feel. Love yourself.
Yeah, because you end up doing drastic things to blend in with other people.
Yeah.
You didn't make yourself.
No.
But yet now you're not good enough. So next thing you know, you're spending all your money to buy the best clothes, the most expensive clothes, so that you can blend with people and stop being a part of the entertainment.
And so you can feel good.
So you can feel so you can feel feel good about somebody else feeling good about you.
Yeah, yes.
Because there are people who went out stealing clothes to blend
for people to
make themselves over before realizing I can't afford this.
No, you can't.
Even if I'm stealing it, I know I can't afford it.
It's just an epidemic, really. It's like people,
and then it's the people with the most flaws that got something to say about somebody
else.
Oh
my gosh, yes,
it's like,
it is.
If in our city, there's a young man who got beat up because he's gay. He was gay.
Wasn't it two of them?
2 young men who got beat up.
Recently, you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Now, those are the things that he has to deal with. He didn't make himself.
No.
So those urges are there, and he's living his life the way he wants to live.
And that's
he shouldn't have to dumb down his person to fit in with people on the street. This person got beat up because he seemed like he was dressing the same way they dress. He just had a little switch in his walk.
If somebody's walking down the street, they're not bothering you, I don't think it's right that you come out with bats and to hit people and beat people up because what are you offended by? What are you doing?
And this is what I don't understand why you're so mad, because look, if he's gay and you're straight, good for you.
Right. What if you were
there's more women for you.
What if it's the other way around? The straight people is getting beat up by gay people because they didn't like your lifestyle. So the whole point of this is love yourself. Love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do not.
And remember that you didn't make yourself.
You can't control how you were made.
I like Michael Jackson, but I realized after all my readings and friends that I knew that knew him, I realized that after he stopped being able to fix on his nose, his facial structure started changing. You you'll feel like you didn't make yourself, and now you feel ugly. You've broken the one thing that you could fix, and now you're fixing other things because you're still on a constant quest to build this monster that doesn't exist. You didn't make yourself. So don't make yourself over unless you want to, not to please and appease anybody.
Because you'll never be happy with that.
Because you're not going to be happy. It's like
you can't ever.
Once you start messing with stuff, you're going to constantly be messing with it.
They're going to always find fault in you. You can't. I mean, you just can't. You think you're doing one thing, to please people, and then they come out with something else.
I didn't know that being brown was wrong until somebody told me that Michael Jackson turned himself light to be more accepted. I had no idea that being brown was wrong until then. I don't know if it was because we were raised with a little money, but I just didn't know that anything was wrong with it until it was pointed out to me.
People make something wrong with something.
Everything. You don't make yourself. You don't determine. Everybody was born in a rich family and white. And I hate to sound racist, but that's what would happen. You would be born in a rich family, and you would be white.
You really think so?
I think so.
I mean, there are some people who, you know.
I don't know, because I've been around some people who talk that shit, and I think if they could make themselves over, they wouldn't have the struggles and challenges that they have, and they would be born rich. One, if not white, you'd be born rich.
But then,
because if you can choose, you'd be born rich with all the perfected things that you want, and you wouldn't have any problems.
And then that's, maybe that's some truth to that. But at the same time, you're
it's
still going to have problems.
Yeah, but people think that kids, a
lot of times be distraught and disturbed.
But that's my whole point of saying that you don't make yourself. You don't make none of these decisions.
And this is another thing. And if you could make yourself, if you feel you want to be white and rich, that you're still not going to live without any struggles or any other. That don't mean you're not going to have insecurities. Money doesn't make you secure. You still can be insecure with all the money that you have. People who wear all the name brands and have all the luxuries are still insecure.
Yeah.
It
well, that shows about the insecurity, because now you have all this.
Now you have all this.
You secure.
Look at the people who have the money to get the surgeries. They still aren't happy with their lives. You're trying, you're changing, and you still aren't happy.
And you still don't look like Angelina Jolie.
Right.
You still don't,
So I don't care.
None of that. You still don't have perfect skin. There's still a bump that's going to show up.
You can get all kind of face shit going on. Your bump's still going to pop out. So the whole point to this is love yourself. I don't care from what background, where you come from, rich, poor, whatever.
And know that you didn't make yourself.
And you didn't make yourself, so be happy with it. And if there's some things that you want to change, just love yourself in the midst of changing. That's all I can say.
Yes, make yourself over when you're ready to make yourself over.
Don't be
not
pressured,
to appease anybody.
Because you won't be happy with that.
You won't be happy, and you'll just constantly be making that over.
Yes, and still,
and it'll get out of hand
and become miserable.
Yes. Yeah. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Bye.